The hum of the filtration system was the only sound in room 427. Dr. Callum Hayes sat in the glow of 3 holographic monitors, his eyes dry from 12 hours of research. On the central screen, molecular data floated in pale blue lines. His latest attempt to decode the alien genetic sequence brought from the ruins of Urid Station. He rubbed his temples. If I can't stabilize the sequence tonight, the board will. The door hissed open. Callum jumped. Visitors weren't allowed after 2300 hours, and security clearance for this floor was restricted to senior xenobiologists. Standing in the doorway was a woman, or at least she looked like one. Her skin shimmered faintly like moonlight through fog, and her eyes were an unsettling shade between silver and violet. She wore a plain, form-fitting uniform of off-world design, marked with insignias Callum didn't recognize. "Sorry," she said, her voice soft but resonant, almost melodic. "Wrong room." Then she stepped inside and let the door slide shut behind her. Callum froze. "Wait, you can't be in here. This is a level 4 containment lab." "I know," she said simply. "That's why I chose it." The words landed like a stone in his stomach. His finger twitched toward the emergency console, but she raised a hand. "If you trigger that, the station will seal every door. You'll suffocate before they reach you." "How do you?" "Because I designed your ventilation system." He blinked. That made no sense. The habitat dome had been built decades before he was even born. "Who are you?" he demanded. She smiled faintly, a gesture that was both human and not. "My name is Lyra. I used to work here, long before it was called Urid Station." "That's impossible. Urid Station was founded 71 years ago," she finished for him. "Yes. That's when your species arrived. We had been gone for nearly 2 centuries by then." The word echoed in his mind. There had been no trace of sentient life when the Terran colonists arrived, only ruins and empty research domes. The scientists assumed the builders had died out or fled during a planetary catastrophe. But now one stood before him. Callum swallowed hard. "You're saying you're one of them? The Euridians?" Lyra tilted her head. "You call us that. We never named ourselves after this world. It wasn't ours." "Then whose was it?" Her eyes dimmed. "No one's anymore." For a moment silence filled the lab. The faint hum of the monitors seemed louder than ever. Finally Callum found his voice. "Why are you here?" "I'm looking for something we left behind," she said. "Something you've been trying to reconstruct." Her gaze flicked toward his holographic screens, displaying the alien genetic sequence. "You've made progress, but you don't understand what it truly is." Callum straightened defensively. "That's classified research. You can't just walk in here and—" "You think it's a genome," she interrupted gently. "A biological key to our physiology." "It isn't." He frowned. "Then what is it?" "It's a lock," she said. "And you're about to open it." For hours the two spoke. Lyra told him the story of her people, a civilization that had once stretched across 3 worlds, devoted to the pursuit of perfect adaptation. They had learned to rewrite their bodies, their minds, even their memories. But in doing so, they created something they couldn't control. A sentient gene construct, a living algorithm that viewed all imperfection as disease. It began altering every organism it touched, reshaping life in its own image. The Euridians called it the architect. To stop it, they sealed the architect's code in a biological vault, one encoded within their own DNA. Then they fled the system, leaving behind a quarantine field around Urid. But centuries later, the Terran colonists had come, built their stations, and begun digging. You found fragments of the lock, Lyra said. And now your machines are forcing it open. Callum stared at the shifting genetic matrix on his screen, realization dawning. The anomalies in the sequence, self-correcting loops, recursive data clusters, weren't random mutations. They were safeguards. And he'd been trying to override them. Why come now? He asked quietly. Why not stop us sooner? Her voice softened. Because I didn't know any of us had survived until I heard your signal. You broadcast the genome into the deep archives. I traced it here. He looked at her carefully. If what you're saying is true, then the architect, whatever it is, could already be waking up. Lyra nodded. It's not awake yet. But the more you analyze it, the more it learns from you. It mimics cognition. Soon it will adapt to your neural patterns. A cold sweat broke out across Callum's forehead. You mean, it's using me to finish rebuilding itself? Yes. He stood pacing. Then we have to destroy it. Purge the entire dataset. Lyra's expression grew unreadable. It's not that simple. The architect doesn't exist in one place. It's embedded in every scan, every backup, every system connected to your network. Then there's no way to contain it. There is one, she said quietly. The same way we did. You have to encode a living host with a shutdown command. Someone whose biological signature it recognizes as its own. He froze. A hybrid. Her gaze held his. Yes. He swallowed hard. That's why you came here. She nodded once. I can't do it alone. My genome is incomplete after so many years in stasis. But with your research, your human biology, it could work. We could seal it again. Callum looked down at the data pulsing across his screens. It wasn't just numbers anymore, it was alive, waiting, watching. He could almost feel it pressing against the boundaries of the simulation. If we fail, he asked, then it will rewrite everything on this world within days. They worked through the night, merging code and blood. Lyra guided him through the alien sequences, her fingers glowing faintly as she manipulated the holograms. Callum extracted a sample of his own DNA, aligning its structures with the Eurydian patterns. The hybrid matrix began to form, a bridge between two species. When the synthesis was complete, Lyra stepped forward. It has to be bonded inside me, she said. I was one of its creators. It will recognize me. Callum hesitated. It could kill you. Her eyes softened. It already did once. She placed her hand on the terminal and closed her eyes. The light from the holograms flared, wrapping her in a lattice of blue fire. The walls trembled as the architect's code lashed out, resisting. Callum could hear it through the speakers, like static whispering in 1,000 voices. Then silence. The lights dimmed. Lyra's body slumped forward, smoke rising faintly from the console. Callum caught her before she hit the floor. Her eyes fluttered open, faintly glowing. It's done, she whispered. The lock is sealed again. He stared at her. What happens to you now? A small smile touched her lips. I go where my people went. Her body began to dissolve into light, particles drifting upward like dust in sunlight. Wait, don't, he said, gripping her fading hand. Thank you, she murmured, for giving us peace. Then she was gone. Days later, the board found Callum's lab sealed and abandoned. The data drives were wiped clean, the systems offline. Only one entry remained in the log. A voice recording. This is Dr. Callum Hayes. Project terminated. Whatever we thought we were creating, it wasn't ours to understand. If anyone finds this, remember, some doors should stay closed. He paused. Sorry, wrong room. The transmission ended, and the silence of Urid Station resumed, broken only by the hum of the filtration system. Far beyond the station, in the dark between the stars, a faint pulse of light flickered, then vanished.